friends. I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys. Most amazing, beautiful viewers. Today's reading, we're looking at a current situation you have going on, and we're going to look at how will the situation unfold. So maybe possibly you're stuck, or you're just anxious or wanting to know how it will resolve or move forward. All right, so I do ask you use your intuition, what you will see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you. Only you can do this with your intuition. So we will pick 3 cards here for the pick a card. Okay, for those of you guys new to pick a card, you'll be energetically sort of pulled to one of these. And I will put the timestamp for the options in the description box and in the pinned comment below. I'll take you directly to your pick. So we have option 1 and 2. We're picking option 3, and then I will reveal them shortly. So if at any point you are pulled to the card, you can go ahead and pick, okay, at any point, and we'll pull a charm as well for each of these options, 1, 2, 3, to add an extra layer of channeling here to see what exactly is pulling forward energetically. Okay, so I will put timestamps as well to take you directly to the channeling. Although if you're developing your intuition, if you're developing your intuition and you're still sort of doing that, then you might want to sit throughout the card layout, which is pre-shuffled oracle cards. Okay, the reason I don't do that sort of on film is because it takes quite some time, because sometimes I use like upwards of 20 decks. Okay, so they're pre-shuffled. I don't look at it, but the question remains here to Spirit to provide insight in your situation, to see how it's going to unfold, how things will resolve, and to give you any sort of information you're needing to know. Okay, so let's take a look at these 3. I'm going to remove this booklet from the charm pack because I always forget to do that. So option 1, your card here is 30 with Ascension into Light. Wow, look at that beautiful card. Ascension into Light. Option number 2, New Earth. A New Earth with number 19. Wow. And then option number 3, we have 2 cards that were coming out. We have 36 with Sword of Orion, and followed by 27 with Wings of Light. All right, so let's pull your charm. Option 1, you guys have the crucifix here. Wow, okay. Let's put that right there. Option number 2. Shall we sort it? Put that right there. Okay, option number 2. You guys have this golden shell, clam shell, and a hair that's in my hand. Okay. Option number 3. You guys have this baby carriage. A stroller, baby stroller, baby carriage. All right, I haven't seen this charm, so. Okay, I'm going to move the box. Okay, move the box, and then I will put these where you guys can sort of sit with the energy. Take as long as you need. I'll let the video run for a bit so that you don't have the bar running if you need to pause. So take your time. If you're pulled to multiple options, it just means that your energy could be sitting in multiple aspects here. Okay, people around you, current energies that are being sort of pulled through. So always listen to your intuition, okay? And I will see you at your pick. Hello, beautiful, gorgeous angels. Pile one. Oh my goodness, this strong energy pulling through with your card here. It's a very strong message that always pulls through my readings. So even if you're new here, it could still be your message, although I feel like this has been coming through very strong with some challenges here that we've been seeing. And I am going to read from the book because this is exactly as I want to show it's not me sort of preaching here, because sometimes I feel like I'm preaching, that's kind of how I feel, but it's not Linda's advice. I'm solely reading the cards. So I'm going to read from the book here, although this is everything I've always been sort of trying to communicate here in this channel. Okay, so if you're really open to healing, if you're really open to freeing or releasing pain and suffering, then just keep an open mind with this. Okay, I should say drop the mind and keep an open heart. Okay, so let's read what's going on here. So, ascension into light. As above, so below. What you perceive to be false are not false, but vital aspects of human nature, qualities that offer important lessons about life and love. At present, you cannot see things clearly because you are stuck with the illusion of good and bad, falsely believing that things are either one or the other. Yet, have you considered that all exists through the grace of oneness? There are no faults or mistakes, only experiences your soul has chosen. Observe life without judgment, and you will see that good and bad are only perceptions. Our judgments are actually fears. And what we fear is our shadow self, which is part of our true nature. Everything has a reason, purpose, and an opposite. In light, there is dark, and in dark, there is light. One cannot exist without the other, and one is not better than the other. To become whole, you must embrace the love, the fullness of your nature. Wowzers, isn't that powerful? So, we're looking at a situation, a circumstance going on in your world, the energy going on in your world right now, and how will this unfold? Okay, how will it unfold? How will it resolve? How can it move forward? Or I should say how it's going to be moving forward, okay? Because clearly we can work with the divine to move things forward, however we are called to do, okay? But the divine essentially is going to roll out what it does in front of us, okay? Because the universe, the divine source, is what's really pulling the strings, controlling what's going on, okay? So we can't control what's going on in the universe, and so it might cause some fear. But really, at the end of the day, I feel as though there is some suffering here that you've been through. You might feel very much like you've had to carry a lot and you're looking for some salvation. You might even be new into spirituality or trying to work on having a higher belief, something greater than yourself. Maybe you're starting to get into religion, or your spirituality, your faith, something greater, God, source, Jesus, okay? Like, to you, this is coming into sort of more focus, because I feel that there's been a lot of suffering, or there's been a heavy burden I feel you've had to go through. Some of you have been going through a spiritual awakening, and this is talking about the ego death, the shedding of the illusion, the non-duality, unity consciousness, heart consciousness. Okay, so this is big, powerful stuff and painful stuff, because once we realize that all of our thoughts and everything we've perceived is just an illusion, it is the filter we put on and gave it life and made it true, but it is not the objective truth, we then start to free ourselves. We start to let go of the mind story, because it's not creating the future we want to see. It's only kept us in suffering, and it's painful. It's painful to do this, but we become an observer of this day in, day out, and we start to surrender more to the divine, which is the process of ascension. Okay, the ego death, the getting closer to the divine, the seeing our own projections. And a big part of this is the non-judgment, having grace, but not just for others and our situation, but for ourselves, which is difficult to do. We judge ourselves. We might have an idea of what we need to do or be, and then we beat ourselves up because we can't quite get there, or just we've done the same thing, or we pass judgment. And so we're learning about forgiveness, and really at the end of the day, there's nothing to forgive, because there's nothing bad that's happened. There is nothing bad that's happened. Okay, there's nothing to forgive. It's just experience. It's just isness. Okay, it's isness. It's happening. It's being. And so we can put any heaviness we want to any situation, or we can release, surrender, and know that we are just pure light beings, perfect behind all of these distortions and projections. And we've experienced certain things, certain things that are no longer in the present moment. And so they don't become who we are. Our being is never changed. Okay, so I feel this is a very spiritual, heavy, shifting sort of energy here with this. So let's see. Maybe that is the situation that's going on. Maybe you're removed. Maybe you're trying to work on your spirituality, your growth, your dark night of the soul, your shadow work, and that type of stuff. Let's see. So we have the outsider, number 5. Yeah, I feel like you feel removed. Inner child, could be devil energy here, keeping us feeling stuck. When I say devil energy, it's like the illusion, the egos, the unhealthy patterns, how we think, how we speak, how we see things, how we connect to the world. And now maybe we feel very removed. I'm getting heavy hermit as well. So I'm getting Virgo, Capricorn energy, devil, hermit, okay? And so the hermit's journey is required in order for us to really know thyself, and not just from a mind space of judgment, but going inwards to do the shadow work, to recognize where the shadow is, or what the inner child has been wanting to express. And so I feel because of this, we've been removed from our everyday, maybe society or family or friends or work, or however our past patterns of engaging are. And so we feel alone. But this is through conflict. There is a rebuilding, okay? Because 5 is very challenging, but it's also a peak point of rebuild. It's a point of rebuild. So it might be that you feel still sort of in the void space. You might still feel bound to some thought or some unhealthy thing that seems to have a hold of you. Okay, quest. Yeah, it's the quest. This is the hermit's journey, right? The quest. What is the quest? And look, new beginning. Okay, we're being reborn here. Potential, opportunity. One is the Fool, new beginning, and it's also the Magician. As above, so below, which pulled through the very first sort of phrase here. So it's what you're manifesting in your world. Like you're sort of the creator, and you're able to manifest what it is that's not yet created, but we need to tap into that power and understand our own ability to create. And so this is the journey that you're on here. Although I feel like we might have to descend before we ascend, is kind of what I'm picking up. Like this horse is going backwards, and so there's a feeling of feeling stuck. Maybe we had to go backwards and now we're stuck. Or maybe we're not sure how to dissolve and descend, and so we're sort of stuck and we still need to do some review here. Could be both ways here, like we've already sort of done some shadow work or some shedding or some review, and we've been on it for a while, and now we're in the void, feeling very stuck. Like I still feel I can't get out or connect. Or we're just not sure how to unpack some of this stuff from the past. Man holding a heart, 45. So 45 could be a significant number. This is the number 10. 10 is all about transformation and the end of a cycle. You know, would it be a spiritual awakening? We have the Wheel of Fortune pulling through, which is divine guidance and yeah, the universe sort of taking the wheel here. And the man holding the heart. This is masculine energy. And we're all familiar with the heart, so love. Although I feel like this heart energy is coming through red and not green. And so for me, green is heart consciousness, like unconditional love. We're seeing red, I'm tied back to devil. You know, I'm still tied back to fear-based love and conditional love, ego love, whatever word, special love, you know, whatever love, how we've engaged in the world, how we've known love to be. We might be having a difficult time letting go of that, but it could be a toxic type of love, love of self. We can't fully release and move forward if we don't have that pure unconditional love of self. So how can we love into the world? You know, this might be a lesson of how to show forgiveness and love to self. Okay. Oh my goodness, you guys. Women holding a heart. 44 and 45 in succession here. Okay, this is the masculine and feminine. We all carry masculine and feminine energy, and we know we come into union when both are balanced. If we're too much in one energy, or if we have too much blockage, distortions in one energy, we become imbalanced, and things start to not go very well in our outside manifestations in our world. And so some of you guys could literally be engaged, you know, in a partnership relationship here. Okay, maybe someone's mirrored this back to you because we're seeing the masculine and the feminine. But I feel like deeper than that, it is the masculine and feminine union within self. And she's also holding a red heart. So I feel there's a need to balance both the masculine and the feminine. You know, and we might have felt like, maybe we feel like we've suffered so much here, and it's like, I don't know, like knowing there's more work, you might feel sort of tired here, you know. There's a butterfly talking about transformation. 44 could be a significant number. Number 8, that's about change, movement. It's also the strength in the tarot, which is the courage to face our fears. And it's also about attainment. So maybe we're trying to attain love, attain something, you know. Yeah, attain something out of fear here. Or we're holding on, or we're holding back out of fear, one or the other, because we want to attain something, so we don't know how to engage. I'm also getting star energy, Aquarius energy, which seems to be pulling through a lot in my readings lately. So star is healing, you know. It's also the Wheel of Fortune with the destiny and our wish for the future. We have chop wood, 42. Oh my goodness, all we're missing is 43 here so far. So the chop wood card is about our everyday sort of engagement, you know. Chop wood, carry water, before and after enlightenment. Being humble. And the broom's talking about clearing the clutter here, which I'm getting rid of anything here that's maybe distorting you, your situation. We have buckets here that's carrying water, so we might have blockages in our emotions still that we're needing to take a look at or release or know our blocks, but maybe we don't know for sure. So we have Vesta with home, coming home to self. Your household situation is improving either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. So we don't take it so literal, you know, but I feel like with this is like home to self, like you're changing, like a healthy change in the occupants, like meaning no matter how much suffering, it's a healthy change. It's a healthy way of being now because we're freeing from suffering. And the closer we are to the authentic self, the pure self, the Christ within us, and we release all the unhealthy things, the egos, the attachments, the suffering, the ideas, the perceptions, the projections, the judgments. You know, this is the situation going to improve for the better. Although I don't feel like you feel it's there, you know, yet. So Magnolia, nobility and self-esteem. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. Your nobility lies in being superior to you. Superior to your former self. Ernest Hemingway. Sorry, these cards are really hard to see. I'll read this again. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow men. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. Former self, yeah, we're shedding the old self. We're just shedding the old beliefs of what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, who we were attached to being our identity. Oh my goodness. Masculine. No, don't tell me we're going to get a feminine. If we do, then the divine is really sort of going to be really powerful here with the messaging, because we have the masculine, the feminine here. I'll put the masculine. So sorry, this was the masculine, very graphic image here. Okay, hopefully I don't get demonetized. Raw, vulnerable. And look at the red. I know it's kind of pinkish, but I feel like there's a lot of root chakra stuff still here, you know? Like matrixy stuff, like still in duality, still needing to be vulnerable and strip it all away so our authentic self can come out. Yield. So we got two people in a vehicle getting off, I guess, the main sort of route, you know, getting off maybe the main route, like the main populace here. Taking the path, maybe that's less traveled. And yeah, like not doing what the populace wants or what you were expected to do, or the main thing here, and it's like taking this side route to get to where you need to get to, and also like yielding to this power or this situation that's going on. It's kind of taking a hold of you, like you have no choice but to yield, but you are sort of not alone in this. You know, you're not alone in this. So either you feel alone, and so Spirit's pulling through here with you're highly protected, and Spirit's got your back here. It's all being divinely guided, so do not feel alone. Or you might be going through a journey here with someone, like I said. If this is someone that you've connected with here, it's kind of like a twin flame, or like a you and this person are kind of going through this experience, you know. But I'm seeing red, and they're wearing red, so I feel like, yeah, we're still doing some healing here. Cards all about movement. Okay, and then we have Earth with the tree. So I'm getting Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. And this is all about stability, but it's about our family lineage, you know, even our ancestors. So we could be doing heavy clearing of ancestral wounds. You know, we're growing here into this beautiful tree. And you need to get grounded. Or tree, look at that protection. Yes, so you are protected. So some of you guys do feel alone. And the lightning here is giving me Uranus energy, more Aquarius, but it's like tower energy. You know, and towers aren't always great because they turn our world upside down suddenly. It's nothing is as it was. So what is the stability? How can I grow the stability? But here Spirit's showing, like, despite the upheaval, you're so solid. You know, you're very solid. Like this tree is green leaves and is unwavering despite the storm. And maybe you don't see this right now, you know. Like you're seeing the illusion, the false self falling away, and so you might feel unprotected or like everything's gone. Or meanwhile, the real truth is now you can see the green tree, the sturdy, solid. Look at how solid this MFer is. Okay, like very healthy, very strong, very sturdy. Nothing can uproot this tree. But God itself. and it is an extension of God. This is the universe. So your pure self, you're an extension of God. Your being is this strong, or despite what's going on, chaotic on the outside. It has no bearing. Okay, even though it might feel like it's having a very strong pull, or I don't feel you can see how solid you are. Expand. Yeah, this is definitely about expansion. Expanding in every single way possible. So because we shed, we feel maybe more contracted, or we're releasing, detaching, transmuting. And so we feel lighter, but at the same time, we don't see it as an expansion, because it really is the growth. This is where the growth happens. The tree is always there, that solid core of who you are. But now our outside world starts to expand. We could be more, do more, and not necessarily like from a position of having to make things happen, but now that the false self falls away, we're now very responsive in how we deal with things. What we sort of can deal with is now coming from a true place, not projections and reactions and programs. Birth, being reborn, yeah. Painful, 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 painful. Very painful here. Hold. That's this energy, we feel like, when is then the rebirth? This is about being reborn with the egg, but it's not yet hatched. So it's incubating here, and this person's carrying it kind of like the 10 wands. It's very heavy to carry. We may feel a period of hold or void. Leap, Aquarius energy. I'm getting Fool energy. It's safe to fall. It's safe to trust the process here, pile 1. And healing through rest. Yeah, this is a very exhausting period. 10 again, pulling through. Completion, ends of cycles, transformation, Wheel of Fortune, like I said, and also the Sun reduced in the tarot, which is all about enlightenment. Because once the process is sort of completed, we are lighter, we're enlightened, we're tapped into the divine. We see the true being within us. So I feel this is giving mystical sort of energy here, getting back to earth, pure nature when it comes to everything from our health to how we live our life. Witches were very much about natural ways of being, using the earth, using words carefully, and having a lot of intention. Knowing the power of the universe is all about intention. And I'm still getting an energy here of the duality, bad, good. And so we might have had a lot of negativity, but it wasn't bad. The negativity is the distortion, is the self-speak, is now what we're seeing, is now what we're seeing. And the throne, position of authority. So throne could be divine emperor energy or divine empress, all about being empowered, being in charge, But there's no one here in the throne, because I feel like we're learning to release control, that we get empowered through the release of control. That's where our power comes from. That's when we're truly having agency over our own world, is when we are working with the universe and not needing to upkeep and come from a place of doership or the distortion or projection that I am controlling an outcome. I am more than the universe, that I can create something here out of my forcing it to be, when really the universe unfolds as it does in front of you. And so you're asked to engage in the present moment without distortion and projection and judgment, to truly enjoy the present moment. There's nothing to do with you sort of doing anything or being in control of anything. Okay, and then we have Coyote. Illuminate your illusions. Okay, with the wolf. Okay, So I talked a lot, pile 1, in the card layout about what this is. Okay, so I will put a timestamp, and so some of this might be repeat, but sometimes through channeling we get more messages. I'm going to try to wrap this all together for you guys in a way here that it kind of makes sense. Okay, so pile 1. This is so difficult, this transition that you're experiencing. It's really a transformation where you burn off a lot, and I feel you're still in it. There's a lot of distortion still happening in programming, beliefs that you have that are actually really weighing you down, and they're self-induced. But this isn't to shame or blame you or to pass judgment or to make you feel I don't know, like there's something wrong with you. I think whether you like it or not, you're on the journey of burning these judgments and these projections and these ideas that you have that are egos, about yourself and about others. So first we have to burn it within ourselves. And when I say burn, it's like transmute that energy, know that it's an illusion. We have to see through it. So we have these thoughts that we do not control. They're always going to be coming because they are a function of the body, and they come to us through the universe, our genetics. Okay, we don't sit through a catalog saying, I want this thought to pop into my mind. We don't choose the thought sort of comes through us. And so these thoughts, as they come, how do we engage? Are we very aware of these thoughts? How are they making us act? Do we just react with that thought? Do we feed energy to the thought? And so I think we're being very aware of these thoughts and also our outside world and how we engage. And the more we see, maybe the more heavy we feel, the more sadness we feel, the more we realize we're seeing through an illusion, and it's creating more sort of heaviness or more a feeling like I can't get out, maybe, or like, what am I then? What is the truth? And so if we're still feeling stuck in suffering in our old world, this is talking about you still working on descending or releasing or transmuting or seeing through certain things before you can ascend, before you can see on your outside world a manifestation of something beautiful, because you definitely deserve something beautiful, But what's happening here is if our thoughts are fueled by our feelings are telling the universe the story, and that's what manifests, because you're a beautiful creator. Okay, so this is deep sort of law of attraction stuff, but it goes very deep. It's not just think of things you want, toxic positivity, and then it comes. This is your true feelings are telling the universe what to do, because you are the creator, the extension of God. And so if we're always feeling blessed and we're always feeling gratitude and unconditional love, we get more of this to us. Okay, but if we're passing judgment on self, if we're feeling any sort of, like I say, contracting energies, hate, jealousy, sadness, separation, duality, them, me, out there, I'm separate, lack, scarcity, that's that type of mindset, then the outside world projects that back to us. So all of this exists in the universe, So yes, separation exists in the universe, but so does unity, because the universe is all infinite, everything happening all at once. So how could it be missing anything? It's not. It's full and complete. It's how you engage the dance of the universe that reveals to you your truth. So you can put a limitation, and therefore that is what you'll see. And so I feel there's a spiritual awakening happening here. Dark night of the soul, burning of the illusions of self before we can start to work with others. Okay, some of you guys are in a relationship partnership, but I feel deeper than that. It's balancing your masculine and feminine. There's distortions here. Okay, so we could be heavy in one energy, or we could have distorted traumas in both sort of energies within us, the masculine and the feminine. Okay, and I'm not going to get too into what the masculine and feminine energies are, but we know that the feminine energy is responsive, is all about unconditional love, Okay, whereas the masculine energy is more about the intellect, but when the intellect works with the heart, it's true intelligence. It's not projection. Okay, so I feel like we cannot give true unconditional love to the world around us and see this in our reality until we feel it, understand it in self. And I feel like this is fear-based love. So right now we have a love of self that isn't healthy. It might be dressed up as love. It might come out and manifest in a certain way, but the way it is based in fear. So fear of being abandoned, chasing something. Something's external. Something might be missing. Something's not showing me. And so we chase this. And the more we do this, we tell the universe, I don't have it. I need to seek it. It doesn't exist within me. And so the universe gives you more of this. Okay, law of attraction stuff again. Like very, very, very intertwined here. But when we know that we are the universe, the extension of God, that we are love, okay, it takes a while to get here because we have to sort of transcend past some of the stuff, clean up some of the distortion, and then we start to give unconditional love from a true heart space. You know, we don't see it's them versus us or separation. Okay, we start to see past people and their shadows. And the only way to do this is to see past our own distortions and shadows without judgment. Okay, if we're always looking out there, we know that that is really mirroring what's going on inside. So if we're hurt by other people, if we're seeing things we don't like in other people, that is always a trigger catalyst for us to do the work on self. And so as you do this, it feels lonely, you know, but we might have to remove ourselves in order to be very honest and reflect and shed and clean up. And what Spirit's showing here is you have your true, authentic part of self here that is very, very strong. That's always been there. And it's abundant, okay? And I feel like the reason this is happening is for you to be able to see it, for your world to expand in the physical way, in the 3D way. You need to be reborn here so you can come home to self, your authentic self, see your true beauty for who you are. And so this is why you might have experienced suffering in order for you to get on this path of regrowth, rebirth. And so Spirit's saying you are not alone. You're heavily protected. This is heavily guided. Okay, there might be a lot of ancestral stuff coming through here. And Spirit really wants you to focus on your physical health as well. Okay, although we know that we're not the body houses the beautiful light that you are. And so if we start to respect our body, our physical vessel, then we're able to focus on our spirituality and do what we need to do. But I feel like there's something going on in the root chakra here. So I might have to take it back down to the basics. Let the chop wood carry water. Okay. We might have to detach from the higher level, maybe where I need to be, or what is sort of is a spiritual concept. It will come as an inner knowing and a spiritual understanding. But we have to take it back to the basics, the root, to clear, I think, emotional blocks here that are still there, trapped as distortions, creating the physical world that you see that I don't think you like very much, you know, where we're judging. And this doesn't mean, oh, that person is horrible, or that's the type of judging. It could be, but it's like any sort of guess we're putting on someone else. This is good, this is bad, this is this is that. Like, obviously we need to discern, you know, we can't be completely in fantasy land, but we cannot put that assumption or that projection on anything, because we can have two apples and we just say it's an apple and pass it off, and then the other apple and pass it off as the exact same. These are two different sort of apples completely. They taste completely different, come from complete different soil, produce something different within it. And if we eat the apple and we are already of the mind that they're the same, we miss the beautiful flavor that each apple could give to us in that moment. And one could taste very sweet, and the other one could taste very juicy. And we miss it because we just are used to whatever it is. So we already made this projection or this judgment. It's an apple, it's an apple. Okay, and so it's very easy to not see this because we're on auto programming. So this is why it's important to live in the moment, in the present moment, and in our everyday sort of actions, see where our mind is at and how are we engaged. And so slowly we clear out these distortions, these thoughts, these projections, and then we release emotions that are trapped. We find balance with our masculine, with feminine. This is true vulnerability, because we might not be able to be vulnerable at all. We might think we are, but when we're not in fear-based love, I need to attain, I need something out there from this person, or from this situation to produce XYZ. This is all from a lack mindset. And so this isn't vulnerability, because it's fear-based love. So when we are completely vulnerable, we say, I'm going to give unconditionally as best I can to this situation without judgment. But in order to do that, we need to do that within first, because as within, so without. So if I'm still judging self, if I still making judgments, and still have traumas within me, I'm always going to be projecting that outwards. So we need to descend before we ascend here. Okay, and so I feel like maybe we're learning that we don't really have control, and we don't, I know we like to think divine will and all this stuff, and it's like the universe will unfold in front of us as it should. And so we can stare at it all we like, but we don't want to be reactionary to it. We want to be responsive to what the universe is unfolding. And so we're asleep when we keep reacting out of projection. And then when we enjoy the pure, beautiful reality, when we're awake, when we actually see what's in front of us and we can make a choice from an awakened mind, not from a projection. We now eat the apple differently. We have a different experience with the two different apples. But if we were asleep, when we'd eat the apple, we probably wouldn't even remember eating the apple, right? We would just make a projection of what it would taste like, and that they'd both taste the same because they're both apples. But that's a huge miss when it comes to living in the divine earth, because God's made these apples in two different, very different ways for your enjoyment, for your experience, for your recognition. And so now we're awake to this. God bless me with this apple. Now I need to be awake as I eat this apple and recognize it for what it is, because it is within me. And so I honor me as I honor this apple. It's safe to fall. It's safe to trust. And I feel like you feel maybe alone, or you're not quite sure, because the ego gets in there and starts to say, am I going crazy? Or am I, when we start to understand it a little bit, and then the ego, that's when it throws in the biggest hissy fit. No, you're just crazy, or tries to convince us of something to go back, because the ego does not want to die. And so we start second guessing again, getting in our own mind again. Am I actually awakening? Is this actually enlightenment? Am I actually being treated poorly here by this other person? That's all the human ego speaking. We make the judgment that we're not being treated fairly, or that this person or situation owes us this, and this is the right thing. But that's, again, right and wrong. I'm owed something. Something's missing. And it's easy to fall back into that. Okay? So we're letting go, or we're recognizing, transmuting, being very awakened to the fact that whatever is going on around us has been a manifestation of our own sort of projection. And now that we can project differently or see differently, because the filter is always going to be there. We're just an observer. We're not going to attach our own thoughts to what we see. We now experience a whole different world. And the apples differently. And this is as we ascend, as we are enlightened, we connect to the divine. We open up our heart to true vulnerability. We know about unconditional love. We get closer to Mother Earth. We get stronger. We get healthier. We release what sort of was creating the distortions, any blocks. And then even in our mundane day-to-day life, we feel the joy and the blessing here. We don't feel shut out. We don't feel chained. We don't feel like something's missing or challenged. I think this is it. I don't feel I need to go into tarot, you guys. I really feel this is it. Okay, so you're coming into balance here. You're not alone, beautiful soul. And keep going and trusting your authentic self. Don't let your projections get the better of you. It creates illusion. So if it sounds like fear, if there's an urgency, if it's very loud, you'll know that's ego. It's trying to stay alive. It's trying to audition for your attention. Okay, because your intuition and the knowing is very peaceful. It's quiet, it's safe, it's serene. It doesn't rush you. That's your calm self that you can listen to. Rely on that, you know. Don't act to judgment here with your illusion. That's the ego that's wanting you to take action. That's all fear. And something very strong here about love. Okay, because we are learning about unconditional love of self, or else we cannot experience unconditional love from the world or anyone else. It has to be done. Okay, and I say have to. You don't have to do anything. If your journey was to stay asleep, then that'd be your journey. But in your journey here, it is about soul growth and ascension. You are called to learn about unconditional love and heal this ancestral wound or trauma within you. This is happening, no matter how uncomfortable it might feel, because you've been either complacent, stuck, or in some sort of toxic way of being that hasn't allowed your world to grow. So this is why it's happening. Okay? Safe, trust, beautiful, pile 1. So I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2. You guys picked a new earth with card number 19 and this shell. We'll get into this energy right away. We're looking at your current energy, okay, your situation or your circumstance, and how will things unfold? You know, are they going to resolve? How will they move forward? How will they sort of progress? Anything you'll need to know about it. Okay, so I ask you use your own intuition, what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether the messaging is right for you. Only you can do this. I've pre-shuffled oracle cards that I've not looked at, and this is where you can tap into your intuition with me. If you want to go straight away to the reading, I will put the timestamp to the channeling. Okay, but sometimes we get messages through the card layout that might be important. So if you're developing your intuition, I do suggest you sit through the card layout. But before we do this, we're going to get into the energy check here of this energy. And I feel like something not great happened is what I feel here, okay? But we're learning to put it behind us in order to move forward, okay? So either a situation has been revealed to you, you didn't like what you saw, or you just had to accept something, or you're learning to accept something in order for you to be able to be happy and just allow things to move forward. You know, and sometimes when things happen and it disappoints us, we could get stuck in dwelling on what happened. We could suffer, and that's always our choice. And I always use the example of the flat tire. You know, flat tires always happen. It doesn't mean that we're not going to get flat tires when we're, you know, positive and in line with the universe. Of course, we'll experience pain, flat tire, but how we handle that flat tire dictates whether we choose to suffer. You know, I keep thinking about the flat tire here, and I start telling everyone that I had a flat tire on my way to work, and I keep, you know, the next day I'm still going on about the flat tire and how it put me out and all of this. Or I could change it, get on with my day, and never think about it again as something that's slowed me down. You know, and really, we can look at that situation, and you can apply this into context. We might read in the news that further up ahead, a few minutes out, there's a massive accident, you know, a fatality. Had we not had our flat tire, we would have been one of the cars in the fatalities. So which would we rather, you know, change the tire, put us out for, you know, the morning or however long, or the fatality? right? So only the universe sort of can know what's actually good or bad. Okay, and again, there's no good or bad. There's just contrast. Things happen. We're experiencing, and we got to be very present in order to enjoy what's happening in front of us. So if we're dwelling on the flat tire, we're missing the beautiful thing in front of us. Okay, we're missing the beautiful thing in front of us. So I don't know if we've been hurt, like in the past, so we shut ourselves out, with the shell. This is really maybe guarding our emotions or shutting down in some way, in order to preserve or to protect. But when we do this, we are not experiencing the present moment. So for example, I've had a very painful past relationship. It hurt me. They cheated, they lied, they stole, they did all these things which were valid that I experienced that was painful. And so now I'm protecting myself. And so here comes someone completely different situation. The one, the love of our life. But I'm too hurt to see this. And so this person says something that reminds me or takes me back to what I experienced. And so I don't trust, I can't see beyond whatever my experience was. And so I can't experience this beautiful present person or this moment because of what I've experienced in the past. So there's a big need here to know, where's our mind at? Are we dwelling in the past situation that's made us shut down, close out, be guarded? Or are we very open to giving what we can to a situation in order for it to be able to present to us beauty back? Because this is true vulnerability. Okay, a new earth. Okay, number 19 or the number 10. So 10 is the end of a cycle and transformation. So maybe you're on the verge of healing some traumatic thing that's kept you shut for some time. Yeah, this is quite like flat here. I feel like I think you're learning this, maybe, like maybe what I'm saying here now is true, or this is what you've been experiencing now, like in comes a blessing, or you see something different now than maybe you've experienced it in the past, and you can actually see this hope or this difference coming in. And so it's giving you hope, or it's giving you a new sense of maybe I've been engaged in a way here that hasn't been doing myself justice, Yeah, okay, let's see what we have here in this situation. And we have turning in with the number 4. This is giving me hermit energy, so it's meditating potentially on our shadows and what we want. Number 4 is all about structure, foundation, stability, and planning. A lot of emotions here. Emotions are inside of this seashell, because we have our softness here that we're trying to protect. It could be our emotions. Meadow, flourishing and regenerating. The number 6. 6 is the Lovers in the tarot. It's also the Devil. So it could be something toxic about love, or about how we're choosing because of an experience, We may be regenerating or healing something here. Be healing something here. Goddess of the Moon, 52, or the number 7. So this is beautiful energy. Divine feminine energy, but again, emotions pulling through. With the moon's all about fear, so it could have been a lot of fear, like I said, and sitting with emotions or unknown things here. But finding the strength within us to tap into our divine feminine energy. To be fair, number 38, or number 11. 11's a master number, about a divine inspiration, synchronicities, and the encouragement to keep going. See the owl, which is the wisdom through experience. And then we have the white dress, which is purity. So I think we've experienced something, so we have some sort of understanding, to be discerning. There's a fortune cookie and an egg, and the balance. So justice pulling through Libra energy. So here we have Sarasvita with the arts. She's playing what looks to be a banjo. It's difficult to see in this card. It's so holographic. It says, express yourself through creative activities. Maybe you like to play an instrument, music, performer, entertainment, dancing, singing, acting, painting. We see it looks like a white duck here. It looks like a duck and white sticking through here. Again, something about purity. And here we have the daffodil with Narcissus. It says rebirth and new beginnings. New beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. Yes. Okay. Something we experienced here. Regenerating, new beginning. And here, look, he's sowing his seeds for a harvest. Plant the seeds. Blue's pulling through as authentic expression. Also emotions pulling through. Lots of blue here, like lots and lots of blue. Yeah, look at the water here. At the beach shore, the seashore. Lots of emotions here with the water. We might have a difficult time with self-expression or tapping into our emotions. Some fear here. Abundance. Beautiful. Look at this abundance. And here we have all the colors of the rainbow. So rainbow's all about different perspectives we can have, you know, Hangman, Pisces energy pulling through, and having hope for a better sort of outcome or experience starts from within. If we're always expecting to get hurt and see the worst, we experience that, but these are like our shadows, self, and our ghosts of the past haunting us. Diligence with this bird. It looks kind of like a swift, I'm not sure, but more white energy with the dress and the she's wearing a white dress and the white duck. Diligence. We have soften, melting wax. So something was hard and closed, the shell, and so inside the shell is the nice warm center, you know, where the emotions are housed, the vulnerable self. And so our passion, or something that's inspiring us to soften, to melt it, to soften or to melt the ice, the frozenness, the tough exterior. Freedom. Look at that. And the white bird again. Okay, so swifts, although I don't know if these are swifts, but to me they're very similar. Look at these. Okay, I gotta kind of cover it because she's let me see if I could find a good thing here. So yeah, like it's like a swift, and the swifts were used in the Navy to be set out to tell the sailors when they're close to land, when they're on a journey, you know, close to land. So when is it over? Like, can I be safe and grounded and not to be sort of yeah, like feel like I've come home, you know, which is a sense of freedom. Something you can rely on or feel safe, or like reach a place of feeling free but secure. Can't be caught. Number 10, Aquarius energy, and more rainbow pulling through here. Okay, different ways of seeing things, and this is our wish or our vision of something maybe we hope for in the future. Can't be caught. Yeah, we never felt like we could maybe get to land or find the thing or trust the thing because of what we experience. And like I said, 10's completion, ends of cycles. Backstory, and we know we've experienced the backstory. Here she has an old-fashioned typewriter, so I'm getting a way to express again using words. Parrot. Yeah, using words. Someone will gossip all about your secrets. Now, I don't take words literal on these cards, okay, so much as what I'm really getting here is the parrot. It has a voice and it repeats, right? Like if you say, Paul, you want a cracker? Then the parrot says it as well. So to me, it's like Does it know what it's saying? Is it coming from the authentic place, or is it just sort of mimicking, you know? Because there's something authentic here that it needs to express that isn't, it's not going to come up with Polly want a cracker on its own. But it won't know what its authentic self is supposed to say unless it gets there sort of its own accord. Tower, solid foundations, success with effort. So we were getting from the number 4 foundations, but I'm getting from this tower more of an isolation is what I'm getting, because in Lenormand the tower is all about isolation, feeling lonely for some time, you know, but wanting the ground that the swifts are gonna fall, like the ground, the solid thing where we could plant our seed or trust, where we can express authentically. Hummingbird, receive the sweetness of life. Beautiful. Lots of bird energy. Bird is about gossip. So words, you know, birds are communication, other people, words, that sort of thing. So, okay, let me channel what's pulling through here for you guys. I'm going to do that like this. Sorry. Okay, let me channel this, and then you guys can click on the timestamp. Beautiful pile 2. You guys experience pain. You know, it could have been pain in a relationship, betrayal, someone lied, or just feeling very much like it's difficult to trust. I can't express myself or how I feel genuinely, and maybe it's been difficult to connect to our emotions, to be able to express and to share and to trust and to feel like you could ground or plant anything anywhere. I can only trust self. You know, I can only trust self, or my experience has shown me this, that, and the other. And so I feel kind of isolated, removed. You know, I don't feel I could connect. And I'm very protective of my energy because of what's happened to me. And so there's a lot of voices I hear, you know, whether it's people around me or just the experience I've experienced keeps repeating in my mind, or there's some sort of story I tell myself that doesn't allow me to take the pleasures of what's in front of me. And there's something beautiful in front of you, you know, very nurturing, very beautiful. I think it's something you really want, but you don't know how to get to it. At least your old self wouldn't know how to get to it. But I feel like you're learning to trust and to soften and to open up. I think you've been closed for some time, or have felt forced to have to be shut or close or keep people out, because it's been difficult to tap into the true emotions of self and express this. So some of you guys could just shut people out through you know, distracting self through an outlet. I feel there's an outlet here. You guys might be very, very creative, you know, with the arts, like I said, during the layout. Dancing, painting, singing, playing instruments, music, acting, whatever the creative thing is. And that's been your outlet. And so I think it's been okay. But really, we know that that is a form of one way to connect. And when we don't feel we could connect any other way, it feels fulfilling in some way, but there's always this feeling of isolation. So I feel like your situation here is providing a new foundation that it goes in even deeper here towards connecting. And it's requiring you to see things differently about yourself and see this beautiful blessing for what it actually is, and not a projection of a pain or something that's happened in the past. And so I think this is giving you an opportunity to heal yourself through this, because I think this is a slow burn, but it's giving you the desire and the passion to make a change in an area that you haven't been able to do because either you just couldn't feel safe in that, environment, the people weren't right, or the trust was still too far removed, or the pain was still too raw, or the hard shell was still there. But this experience is allowing you to come closer to yourself, to your own emotions, to say it's important how I feel, it's important how I express, it's important how I show, despite maybe the past voices and the ghosts of the past and the experience of the past that's kept me sort of isolated, removed, or unhappy. And I'm so close. You know, you're so close to shore. And I think you've been planting this for some time. I think you're the one who's planted this. You know, I don't know, maybe you've been around a situation for a long time from conception here, and now there's a rebirth because the harvest, I think, is now coming in of the beautiful plants that or the seeds that you've grown here. So it's a new you engaged differently, a new you that maybe you're not familiar with, because it's had to change how you see yourself, how you engage with yourself, and the communication you have with others, and what it actually means. And is it coming from the authentic place of how you actually feel, or is it, you know, from talking from an experience of the past that's triggered fear, and so it's kept you fearful of it happening again in some way. And so I think you're aware that if you engage in the same way, you just isolate yourself, and there is no planting, there's no stability. It's keeping you unconnected. So I do feel you're cautious, you know. You've been cautious. You've had to make sure. And so I think you're either still, you know, you're still kind of at the tail end here, because I don't think you hit the land just yet. I think you're seeing things differently for sure already. You know, you've been seeing it different. It's been over time, I think, all of this. So I think you've bought into it, but I don't think you've fully signed, sealed, delivered, taking action on this just quite yet. And so maybe you're here for like really the confirmation, you know, or just like the final shoe needs to drop or something here. And Spirit is saying it's okay to trust here in this situation, to build the stability here. This is a solid foundation for you to build upon. And yes, it's taken a lot of effort, and it will take a lot of effort, but the effort is you connecting to your authentic self, not the effort of trying to defend yourself in any way because this is hurtful and you can't trust it. The effort is really the self-work. The effort is really learning to separate yourself from an experience of the past that's been painful. It's hard to do when we're really attached or identified with that pain. And so I think you're bringing balance to yourself. And it's coming from a very pure sort of place, not a tainted place of projection and anticipation of pains. And so this allows you to have a new beginning. So the happiness that I think you've seen maybe as something that was for someone else or a distant thing that you wanted to attain but couldn't quite get there is coming into fruition in your world. You're actually getting to partake in the dance of life and this beautiful connection and beauty, okay? In a way here that I think's been maybe quite empty or shallow or lonely or isolated or removed, disconnected. I'm going to read some tarot for you, beautiful pile 2, to give you just a little bit more in regards to this. Spirit for pile 2, what are they needing to know about how their situation is unfolding in front of them? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Pile 2, thank you so, so much for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. Like I always say, sometimes it's your energy, sometimes it's the energy around you. Okay, so you use your intuition. King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So someone very much in their mind. Page of Cups, going from mind to heart, opening the heart space, communication. Okay, communication was really pulling through here. Like I said, using words to express, though, the authenticity, to speak what we're feeling, to share what we're feeling, to be like an innocent child or vulnerable. And this is the early stages, so maybe we're not very experienced in this level of sharing with this situation, or it's been a while because we've been sort of in our mind about it. You know, I feel like there was a diligence here in how you went about things, but I feel like it might have got you stuck in your mind. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse, so it's kind of giving me this can't be caught. It's like I couldn't build anything. Okay, like the solid foundation, the long-term plan, commitment, the building of the empire, something I could rely upon, something beautiful, a legacy I could leave behind, the ultimate long-term thing here. I couldn't build it. I couldn't rely on it. I couldn't be relied upon to build it. You know, it seemed like a distant thing that maybe was for someone else, or that wasn't for me, because I couldn't rely on it. I couldn't trust. I couldn't open up. I couldn't communicate. I didn't really know how to get into my heart. I just knew what worked for me. But I feel like we weren't seeing something of a greater truth. You know, we saw the experience we had, but there was a bigger truth here. And it's the big truth is that the heart doesn't lie. And there's a true self-expression here that's pulling through, that wants to be shared, wants to create some form of stability here. High Priestess, we couldn't see. Like I said, we couldn't see. High Priestess in reverse, Pisces. We couldn't see the great truth. We were going against our intuition. You know, maybe there was a perfect sort of situation for us to feel safe and do the thing, and we might have got in our mind about it. We might have been very shut about it. We didn't really see it for what it was, and we just went against what we felt was intuitively right, which was opening our heart space, communicating a great truth. So now the fears running the agenda, or the past experience was running the agenda, so we're closed, blocked off, not being able to commit to anything here. Yeah, the Lovers. We didn't choose the path, the person. The choice was in front of us. See, and so we sort of chose to not see it, or close it out. Or Ten of Swords is an ending here, a painful ending. You know, so I feel like because of a painful ending of where we couldn't choose, where we couldn't see our way forward, we couldn't see our way, we had to put an end to that sort of experience in order for us to open up our heart space, like this beautiful, innocent Page of Cups. You know, and again, I'm getting that artist energy pulling through. So I don't know, just confirmation if you're an artist, a creator, an intuitive person here, very, very creative, connected to the arts. Page of Pentacles, communication with the pages. And this is the manifestation of a new beginning. Okay, so where we couldn't build commitment, where we couldn't see the vision of a solid thing, or we couldn't rely on something or be reliable, we're now have the hope, the seed for the future here. We have to put an end, I feel, here to a past thing. And we might have missed out, you know, we might have really missed out here on quite a bit, because I feel we felt lonely and isolated, but it was really because we weren't leaning into our intuition. Gemini, Pisces, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And Aquarius with the star I was feeling. So I feel like I need more, because I'm not quite sure with this Lovers in reverse and this Ten of Swords, because this could be an end of a relationship, you know, or just, yeah, like not choosing the option, putting an end of no choice. Like maybe we felt like we had no choice. Yeah, okay, so this is coming through very clear. Like, I feel whatever pain we experience, which for a lot of you guys, it is a relationship here with the Lovers, but it could be any experience we had that impacted our heart, and it could be in a creative pursuit too, okay? We experienced pain, suffering, we were betrayed or lied, or it didn't work, and so it made us close out. And so then we felt like we didn't have a choice to chase up that creation, or no relationship would ever become available to us. And we had to put an end to this sort of a mind speak here. But I feel like it's been a painful experience for you to have to close this out in order to open the heart space to trust, because we don't want to experience pain again. You know, and I feel like you did go against your own intuition and knowing, because I think you knew that you are deserving of love on an intuitive level. We know this. We know this because the heart is there. You know, anything that we do against that is going against what we intuitively know. So we had to turn inwards. We had to recognize what was the voices in our mind, what was fear, what was really driving this fear of tapping into our true emotions. So I'm just going to pull some more. What is pile 2 needing to know then about this situation and how it will unfold? Any questions they might still have in regards to this experience? Anything further they're needing to know, Spirit? Thank you so much for this clear and concise message. We are so blessed. So we have the world reveal itself in reverse. So that's a successful conclusion of something, a phase, but it's in reverse. So it's like either we couldn't quite get there. Like I said, when I was feeling with the switch, we weren't quite on land yet. You know, we weren't quite on land. So maybe your situation is, I'm so close, but I'm not quite closed it out. Like I need to still get closure about this thing. You know, so I feel like you've been working on getting closure, but this is my past position. So I think this has been the problem. It's like I couldn't quite get closure. Couldn't quite get healed from the thing. I was still hanging on to the thing that happened to me, the bad thing, the horrible thing, you know, it was still there in my energy. Like I couldn't just rid myself of it. So it was impacting my authenticity, my ability to communicate and be expressive of my true emotions. Yeah, there's the King of Swords again. So I couldn't really see because all I could see was my experience, because it was true and it happened to me and it created XYZ. But now we're in our mind, you know, now we're in our mind and we couldn't close it out. But it's really, we can't see a greater truth, which is that's an experience that has nothing to do with the pure being. And so the more we believe it to be true, it's a lie, that I'm not deserving or whatever happened to me dictates who I am and what I'm about. That's a lie. We don't see great truth. So we stay in our mind about this, preventing ourselves from enjoying the nectar and keeping ourselves isolated. Yeah, look at this. So now we have the Page of Cups, now we have the King of Cups. Okay, so this is a very mature person when it comes to their own emotions. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, very deep, emotionally available, and able to express emotions from a very mature, balanced place. So what I see here, you guys, is that, and I am getting divine masculine energy. So it could be you're born female, but you've had a difficult time tapping into emotions. But this might be more common with a divine masculine, you know, like you're getting comfortable with emotions here. So we're more in our mind than we are in opening up. And so we're going from a Page of Cups, which is trusting, innocent, learning, maybe fumbling, not quite sure how we feel, because we're like a fish out of water when it comes to expressing of our emotions because of past where we've shut down, we couldn't close out, to this beautiful King of Cups, being emotionally available, deep, understanding ourselves, being able to understand others' emotions. Okay, so I feel there's a graduation here happening. It's amidst this happening, and this is what this world in reverse, it's like we're entering the Page energy. So we're not quite there at that level. We to experience the full capacity of our self-expression and our emotions. Not quite there, but I feel like we have the key. We've opened the door. We identified that what we were seeing and acting on was not true, or it was one part of the truth. It was one part of an experience, but it wasn't the great whole full truth, because it wasn't in line with the authenticity of who we are and what we feel, and how to express this, because the outside was leaving us feeling very empty. 9 of Wands, we were guarded, we're defensive, but this is the wounded warrior who's been through battle. I've been through battle. I've experienced pain, suffering. You know, also, this is an isolated energy, so I'm going to be blocked here, protecting myself, but I'm not sort of given up just yet. So it's a resilient energy, but we don't need to be behind a wall anymore. You know, and look, he's hanging on to this Ace of Wands. The spark. Something sparked you in your world here. You know, some things really sparked you, and it could be your creative pursuit here, to go after it, to trust your passion. so you can tap into that creative pursuit, or that love of that person, or the love of this thing that I feel you're very passionate and pulled to magnetically, very attracted to this energy that's got you out of your mind and pain and suffering. You know, the Knight of Swords. So there's the retreating energy and the Hierophant in reverse, Taurus energy. Taurus? Why don't I know what the yeah, Taurus energy. Weird. So I think we're no longer like this is about confronting, and I think you were really fighting. You know, you're a fighter for sure, but I think you might have been fighting for the wrong belief. You know, like it was creating the world around you, the world you believe. Like your Hierophant is your own values, your own way of life, the things you commit to. I feel like you're no longer fighting the cause for the wrong thing. Like your values are getting aligned. So I think you just pull back. Like you pull back, or you retreat, or you're no longer like, you know, whatever the story was you told yourself. Because I think at one time you really believed in that world you created, the ideology of, you know, like out there is hurtful, and relationships are not good, or it all ends in divorce, or I can't commit with the 10 Pentacles in reverse. I can't create, no one's reliable, or nothing could be built. You know, and now it's like, nah, I don't want to fight for that type of a belief system. I'm gonna just abandon that altogether, because it's not fulfilling for me, because now I feel a different truth. I'm not just going with the truth that I saw and experienced, because that's one part of something, and it made me feel kind of left out. And now there's this new passion pulling me towards really my love. You know, my love, like deep, deep love here, very, very deep. The King of Cups loves the deepest. And so it's a different way of engaging, which is new to you, because I feel you've been King Swords for so long. It's kind of a colder energy. And when we're in our mind, it's strategic and logical, and it's kind of cold and cut off. And this is like love. It's warming. Like, look how warming this is. Warming the heart. Like, you're really being pulled by the passion here. I'm just going to pull one more card here. Spirit, one more card. Oh, two more cards. 2 swords and the Moon. Okay, look at that. 10 Pentacles again. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. And the Knight of Wands. That's the passion. So in the past, it's hard for us to act on our passion, to go after what we wanted, because it wasn't clear to us, you know, how to build the stability, the thing to rely upon, the thing that would last the test of time, the thing to commit to build to. Either we didn't feel we could, or anything was there to work with, or we just didn't trust it. There was a lot of fear around this, something in the subconscious we had to look at. There was a big illusion in the way we sort of engaged in our world, our beliefs. It was really stemmed from fear, stemmed from the subconscious traumas, triggers, whatever. We were seeing it wrong, or seeing it in a different light, I should say. There's no real wrong, but we weren't seeing the great truth. So it was playing tricks on us, keeping us not building, keeping us not fulfilled, keeping us inauthentic. And so I feel like you've been in a situation where you felt you couldn't move either which way. You know, you couldn't move either which way. And with the birds, again, with the communication, I feel like it's requiring you to choose. Because the Lovers in reverse, when we started off, I feel like you couldn't, you did have the Lovers, did you not? Why am I feeling Lovers in reverse? I feel there was a choice. Yes, there's a choice here, or you couldn't choose it, or it, yeah, whatever the pathway that was blocked, I feel. We were at a crossroads. We were indecisive. We couldn't choose until we recognize our authenticity and our self-expression. I think got tangled up here. Maybe not knowing, you know, what's the authentic speak here that really ties to a great truth of mine. Is it this or is it that? One leads me this way, one leads me that way. One can support the Hierophant, and one can lead me in a different direction. And it's up to me to know. It's up to me to take action and speak in that truth. But I can't have both. I have to have one or the other. And I think you retreat. And you retreat on the Hierophant in your world that was once upright. The thing you understood. You know, but it was sort of, when I see Hierophant in reverse, this is like a foolish commitment to something at all costs that throws us over the edge, that keeps us in suffering. But it's like, but that's my religion, or that's my belief. But it's like, but everything around it makes no sense. I think you just turn away from that, you know? And so I think it kept you here because one was hanging on to the thing we always knew, and the other one was going against the Hierophant to see it differently and be honest and authentic and express the real truth. But we have to express it. It has to come from us using words of feelings coming from our deep emotions, and then take action on that. And I feel that's what you do, okay? Pile number 2, this is your reading. Very beautiful. I love you so much. I hope this resonated, and there's a message for sure that whatever you're engaged with here is abundant. Absolutely abundant here. Okay, but only you can close out to that unhealthy sort of understanding you had that was keeping you feeling isolated and stuck. I think you know this, okay, but I think you're kind of there. You're kind of there. So this is just confirmation to you that this situation could be something absolutely beautiful. Like this is the lottery win of the tarot. The thing that you build, you know, like the very solid thing that after you pass away, it existed, it remained as a thing that was your legacy. Like, it's beautiful. Okay, so I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, beautiful people. Pile number 3. You guys have the 2 cards here, and we'll get into what this energy is giving off right away. But what is this reading about? This is about your current situation and how will things sort of unfold, play out. Okay, give you any sort of guidance or information, what you're needing to know about your situation. This could be energy around you, your own energy. You'll have to take it into context. Best way to know if it's your pile is to tap into your own intuition, what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this messaging is right for you. You could do this throughout the card layout, okay, where you tap your intuition into mine. And I will put a timestamp there to take you directly to the channeling of the reading if you want to get straight away to the reading, although I do ask that you use your own intuition. Okay, so this is a beautiful message. There's a message coming in for you. Like this is the energy here. There's a beautiful message coming into you. Okay, beautiful energy. This is all about us knowing some sort of understanding, but through the heart space. You know, a knowing, not like a mind intellect, but like a heart intelligence, like an understanding, an understanding of a knowing that comes from within. And then this is all about us getting a message, some news, some information, you know, that is beautiful, is like a blessing here. And look at this baby carriage. So for some of you guys, there is a message about, you know, a pregnancy or a childbirth that's pulling through here. It's absolutely beautiful. But child could be a metaphor, you know, for something that's coming into this world, this blessing that's now in this world. It went from conception and inner knowing to like this world. Like it's actually in the material, I feel, with the baby carriage. So something maybe you want to nurture or protect because now it's born. I feel like now it's out. You know, maybe now there's news that have come out, or something's officially out, or the thing is now out. You know, but I feel there's information or news or communication coming to you. I feel it's a blessing. Could be very much making you feel very grateful and very much in an energy of loving, you know, your family, the universe, the people around you, like bringing you back to humility. And yeah, like something very you know, when a baby's born, like there's no conflict, like we can't be mad, like we just are very much open to this beautiful innocent baby that has nothing wrong with it. Like I feel there's something absolutely blessed and beautiful here. Okay, but I don't know how to connect the two just yet, because I feel like there's an inner experience, and then I feel like there's something about the practical world, like an actual message, an actual communication, like an actual tangible thing here, you know. So maybe we make something like official to now it's a thing, and it was just inside of us, or a concept, or an inner knowing that we knew there was something, but it wasn't really born yet. And something maybe, like I said, we've been nurturing or wanting to protect, or we will protect it because it becomes a part of us. Like this baby will forever be a part of us. and we will forever protect it. And no matter if it's 48 or 28 or 7 or 6 months, like, it doesn't matter. It's always the baby we're protecting, you know? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Can't stop saying wow. Let's take a look. What's going on here for pile number 3, Spirit? Ripeness. Yeah, something is now ripe. Something is now being born, you guys. And it could be literal, like I said, with the baby, but ripe. Someone's giving birth. Look, 9. 9 is the gestation period. Mother takes 9 months to give birth. Is something ready for the picking now? Something is ready to it's ripe. Hermit energy, Virgo energy. And we have Imram with the number 2. So this is an interesting story in the book, because we'd be set to sea in this sort of boat-like structure, being thrown about to and fro, having like no control, but it's an experience here, wild ride of sorts, you know, but it's for a purpose here to really connect. It's like we're so connected here with and in the flow of the universe. It brings us into a better understanding how the universe sort of works here. 2 is all about balance, choices, duality. Number 46, or the number 10, the thinking man. So this was more of a knowing. This is more of a thinking. Here we have the crystals. Crystal clear. 10's about completions, end of cycle. By the book, number 11. Divine inspiration, synchronicities, the encouragement to keep going is the master number here, and this is giving me family. It's kind of like Hierophant energy, you know, like we value family or the tradition. Okay. No place like home. Yeah, getting lots of family, home type energy here. This one is sort of up in the air, a little unstable, maybe a little more transient. 5 is all about conflict and loss. Turbulency and turbulency I'm getting from these 2, you know, the seas of emotions are kind of turbulent, and then here we got air, and here we got water. So literally we could be tapping into Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or we could be tapping into the words, the message, the communication of something here. That's it might be I don't know, something was turbulent is what I feel, or it seemed like it wasn't grounded or stable. And it's been very up and down. So we have Green Tara with start delegating. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. Okay. So I feel like there was something here you were trying to manifest that's coming ripe. You were doing it yourself. And maybe there's a message here, you're not alone. Viola Sororia. Faithfulness and modesty. Modesty is a shining light that prepares the mind to receive knowledge and the heart for truth. You guys, what did I say? So there's the mind, which is what we think, which is always about the distortions and the projections and the filtered self. And then there's the inner knowing, which comes from the heart. And so when the inner knowing balances with the mind, because we always hear about, you know, mind, body, and spirit coming into balance. So there's an inner knowing in the heart that I feel is coming in the form of a manifestation of a knowing. Like there's a balancing of the outside and the inside. And why I say outside is because I feel like we might have not have seen clearly what we felt inside. And something something makes it come out like oh, I don't even know the words to explain what I'm feeling here, but I think you'll know the thing here that I feel like hasn't been ripe or hasn't been born is being born from the inner knowing to now being the thing that's out here and expressed and open. It's no longer just I have to guess or about it, you know, it's clearly seen. Yeah, like the money here to me is pentacle realm, you know, it's like it's now in the pentacle realm. It's practically made, it's tangible here, it's a thing. So we have currency or money. I'm getting also 6 pentacles from this, where we might be receiving something here if we're taking it very literal. And here we have the police officer. He has his hand up in the air almost like he's saying stop. Okay. And we have confidence. All right, with the tree. And we have rebirth. Wow. So the baby carriage talks about the birth. And we have purity with the beautiful wolf, 2 different colored eyes. 2 different colored eyes. I'm getting like the way we used to see things in the past to how we're seeing things now. Like there's a change in how we're seeing something, because I think something becomes very clear. There's a matching of an inner knowing and a seeing. Child, you guys, I swear to God, a lot of you guys are finding out about a baby, you know, being pregnant, or like someone's giving birth, or a baby's being born. And so it goes from like an inner knowing of like, you just know that the baby's coming, you know, the baby's coming, and then it changes your world once the baby's actually here is completely different, you know. It's like the pregnant mom is the pregnant mom, and it gives off one vibe, but then the baby is like a complete different experience, right? Like same, use this as a metaphor. Something you've been nurturing is now the baby's out. So it's different. Something's changing here. Something's changing. And so we see it different now. We used to see it as pregnant, and now we see it as it gave birth. I'm getting a lot of pile number 2 energy pulling through with this clamshell, because pile 2 had the charm of a clamshell that looked very similar to this. So it could be energy in your situation pulling through that pile 2. Child. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, body. Yeah, there again with the body, the physical, like I said, the pentacle, you know, because the body is 3D. The pentacle's 3D. It's the tangible, but it goes from conception, the inner knowing, the intuitive state. I trust this thing, to fruit, body. And we also carry the baby in the body. Some of you guys may be finding out you're pregnant. Wow. Drama. Look at that. So I feel drama talks about the 3D world, the matrix world, you know. The thing we're seeing, but there's always something deeper behind that. So you might have been seeing one thing that wasn't really lined up with the truth or the inner understanding of something. Woman, dealing or relationships with a woman. This could be divine feminine energy. And we have snake, welcome higher guidance. And we have skunk, set healthy boundaries. Okay, let me tap into this energy. You guys can go click straight away on the timestamp. Okay, beautiful people. This is an interesting message. Some of you guys might be, obviously not all of you guys, but this is very, very coming through very strong. And it could be a metaphor, but are going to have news of a child or your pregnancy. Okay, maybe you're pregnant or someone you know is pregnant. That is very clear here. but it could be the creation of something coming through as a metaphor. Like there's a gestation period. Maybe you already knew someone was pregnant, and maybe they give birth. Like they actually gave birth, because this is coming through more as the birth than it is someone being pregnant. Like I think the pregnancy has been a long thing here. Okay, so either someone's been pregnant for 9 months and it's a physical baby now, or you've been incubating something for a very long time. However long you've been doing it, could be years and years and years and years, could be a year, could be a month, could be a week, I don't know, but something's been, I feel it's been a long time. You've been protecting this thing, you know. And so maybe you've been working on something, and like an inner understanding, connecting to, but I feel like it's been only in the ethereal space, like an understanding, a knowing, a thing felt on the inside. But I feel like what's happening here is now on the outside, it's a reflection of what you've intuitively understood because of some sort of communication or message or a form of something being revealed in way of words or in the tangible world. Like you see it in the world in front of you now. You know, it's not just a conceptual feel or a. I don't think it was something that you only thought. It was something you could feel inside of you intuitively and know, but you couldn't confirm, or you couldn't touch or hold or smell or taste. And so I think this kept things kind of turbulent, or it created turbulency for you. Like you couldn't get grounded, or you couldn't plant your roots, or you just felt like at the mercy of this not showing or giving or being. And I think you wanted to just calm the turbulency. Like you don't want to be up in the air. You don't want to be in that energy. And so I feel like what's coming in here energetically is you giving birth to a new energy that changes everything here because of what's communicated or seen or explained to you. That now changes your engagement with this and with yourself too. So now your physical world becomes different. You've either healed the thing or you can shed the thing. And so now there's a new way of engaging or a new understanding. And I see you as being very balanced, because at one point maybe it was difficult to get balance, or to make sense, or to have the outside match the inside. And it's difficult when we have an inner trust or an inner understanding that just stays someplace and it doesn't make itself, real to us. Although it's real, it's happening, but here in the 3D as this human body, it could cause a lot of torment or turbulency, but now I think it's all coming into balance and we can see it. And I think the confidence here is in your own ability to now trust your own intuition, see what you see, and get very aligned here, not be thrown about. You're in control of your own sort of 3D world and your spiritual world. It's coming together here. And I think this gives you an ability to maybe do things here in a way that maybe you haven't been able to do before, like a more sense of empowerment, like setting healthy boundaries, like knowing how to engage differently in some way, or to guide something, because I feel like there's a guidance, a way of navigating that is different now that something changes or makes itself known or seen. And so now, even if there's drama, or even if the 3D world is posing certain things, threats or things, it doesn't matter, because the cat's out of the bag. Like, I know this is a little bit of abstract, but that's how it's pulling through here. So it just becomes all so clear to you. It's beautiful energy that you're in. You're in beautiful energy. And so I think this is restoring the balance, because you might have been really giving to something, you know, with a blind sort of trust or an inner understanding, or your energy was there, but it seemed lopsided because there was nothing confirming or supporting or giving. But it didn't quite matter. But now it's like, it's okay now, because now you have the control in some way, you know. And it's not like control as in thinking we have control over the universe, but this is like your own agency, control over self, because there's balance, there's healing, there's safety, there's you being sort of guided here in a way that feels very safe and grounded. Like you trust, you're protected, and you trust where you're being led. Like there's no more unwavering sort of doubts or thoughts or whatever, because it becomes clear and it's out. Whatever this thing is, like, I don't know, this is really interesting. And it could be because there's so many of you guys that the situation is all different, but there is communication here. And shed some light on how you see, and how you see yourself, how you engage in the physical here. Some of you guys might be physically getting something here, you know. Like you've been investing maybe energetically in a project or a thing, and it's never produced. Like it never produced. And now it's like, here, like finally, okay, it produced the thing. It's like I knew it. Now it's out. Like it's fruitful. I knew it would be. It just never happened, or I knew it would take time and I never saw it. Like, and now I see it. And now that it's born, it's a thing unto itself now. Now I nurture this thing. Now I can nurture this thing, or you know, there's no more guessing here whether this thing would produce. It's produced. And that's it. Now it's produced. And it's going to produce now, you know. Now we know it produces. But it was a difficult time coming to this sort of realization or conclusion, because it required, I think, a lot of blind trust in self. It might have been emotionally wreaking havoc. You might have lost confidence in your own ability yourself. So Spirit, what does pile number 3 need to know about this situation and how it will unfold? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. Thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. Strength, look at that. Courage to keep going. You know, and how to know when to hold back, and how to know when to press forward. Like, I feel like I said, at first it was like maybe you were giving, or like it was felt kind of lopsided, and now it's like I have the control, like I have the ability now, because now I know that it produces. It's like it doesn't weigh on me anymore. It doesn't keep me in turbulency. I'm now able to see and understand, and so now I have the courage to be able to engage in the proper way. Here that's required. 9 Pentacles, here's you in your confidence. Okay, and like I said, some of you guys are actually getting money. Like it's producing the thing, the material abundance. It's me unwavering in my energy here. I built this garden with my hands. I know it produces. I know everything that it is, because it's me that's in this garden. You know, no one can tell me different. No one can tell me different anymore. Like I'm strong here in my position. Beautiful energy. Wow, beautiful energy. King of Cups. So this king loves the deepest, emotional, mature. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So something you love, someone you love, a creative thing potentially that's very deep here. Ace of Pentacles, it produces the manifestation, the baby. Okay, the baby's being born here. So maybe someone might have been held back, or the creation might have been held back, not manifested. And now it's being manifested. The Page of Pentacles. Yes, the message. The message, so now we can manifest, or the message brings it into light, and now we see the tangible thing. It's no longer in the ethereal space, or a conceptual thing, or a knowing. It's now a practical thing. It's the beginning opportunity of the thing that's now out of the bag. So yeah, I don't know, like some of you guys might have been dealing with somebody who might have been, you know, holding back feelings, or a project that was held back because it couldn't reach its creative maturity. And so I feel like now there's like maturity here, and it produces the pentacle, the fruit, because of your investment here. And I feel like now you stand in a strong position of kind of having everything you need, really. Page of Cups, more communication, opening of the heart space, creative thing. This is early stages of something here, and child comes through again, you know? Child, child, child. Baby carriage. If I see the Empress, you're definitely giving birth to a baby here, okay? But again, it's a metaphor. Like this could be the egg, you know, it could be the masculine and the feminine, because the mind is the masculine energy, okay, and so the feminine is all about the feelings and being receptive and open. And so it could be that the heart is sort of injected here, like the impregnation of something here. It's had to ripen, an impregnation, and now the baby's born. That's a baby analogy. 6 swords. So now we're getting out of conflict. Yeah, because I feel like things were turbulent. Like I said, like it's been a process, like navigating, like, you know, and this process seems like it doesn't lead to anything really. Like we're thrown to and fro, but where's it going? It's a bunch of emotions and turbulency, and it's a lot of chaos here. But it's not like, you know, we're going down the river through the turbulence. It's like we're just here, like not accomplishing. But we were. I feel there's like a manifestation of the thing that was incubating over a period of time, 9 months or longer. So now we get out of that turbulent energy. The Sun in reverse and the 3 Pentacles. So this is what's in the dark right now. We haven't heard, or we haven't made visible. We haven't made visible yet the 3 Pentacles. And 3 Pentacles for me, as you guys know, who have been here, it's you and a someone, or you and an entity, you and another, you and your business, you and the creation, okay, or the thing that could create the third entity, the synergy. Without this project, I can't create the thing. Without this person, I can't have this baby, you know, like 2 people working together to create, to collaborate. So now we see this, we see the collaboration, we see the creation, we see the synergy of functioning 2 things, creating a third thing here. Masculine energy. So masculine and then feminine energy I was getting with the egg, you know. So it's like the masculine injecting the egg in order to give birth. A star. Our wish is coming true. Some sort of destined thing here. So we might have felt very held back from our wish, or held back from attaining something that we seen as a distant desire, hope, or vision for ourselves. And so now there's, like, I really get the energy of being able to stay balanced to attain the wish. Aquarius, Leo, and Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay, so this is not 100% clear so much, because I don't know, the baby thing really pulls through, but let's see. We'll ask Spirit to clarify. So Spirit, is there anything we can clarify here? Any questions Pile 3 needs to know about this? Clear and concise message. Final message here for Pile 3. Any questions they might still have? Anything I've missed? Something they need to know to clarify this beautiful message in regards to their current situation and how this will unfold for them. You guys, the wolf's eyes It's gone from blue to green. So, High Priestess. You know, purpley. So either way, it's higher 3 chakras. Like, it's the ethereal space, the space that we intuitively know, the third eye potentially, like our intuition, we know of it, to this green. And green is the heart chakra. So it could be like the love is manifested here, the creation, the love created this manifestation. That went from just a seeing and a knowing to like creating. Okay, so High Priestess is Pisces energy. Yeah, that intuitive energy we were picking up. Creative energy, and the 3 Pentacles. So something wasn't created. It was blocked. You know, maybe someone wasn't showing up or held back, like I said, or it was just the project couldn't come together. We weren't able to create the thing, the baby. 10 Cups. Oh my goodness. This is ultimate emotional fulfillment. And there's the egg again with the Ace of Pentacles, new beginning. I can't even do that justice, so I'm not even going to try. You already know what that means. And then we have the 5 of Wands in reverse, coming out of conflict. We were in conflict. So we might have had to surrender or retreat, or just this now is no longer a state of inner conflict because it's manifested. The manifestation is that of emotional fulfillment with another. This is long-term commitment to families coming together. Look at all these bunnies. Fertility. Okay, fertility is giving birth. And bunny for me, like I say, is always also divine timing. So something's taken some time, the gestation period, to create the birth of the baby in a tangible way here. Here's the King Pentacles, more tangibility, reliability. Practical king, committed king, father energy, again, coming through with the family and the baby. Okay, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And there's more child energy. Page of Pentacles, communication. There's the manifestation. There's the offer. There's the communication of here's the offer, or here's the tangible thing. Oh, he's holding the tangible thing. Oh my goodness. And I think you intuitively had a knowing. 5 swords. So 5 swords is not a good energy because nobody wins in a 5 sword situation. Because people are either sabotaging or like trying to win at all costs here. So we're seeing 3 people here. It's 2 swords, 1 sword, and 2 swords on the ground. I'm going to pull a card around this 5 swords, but I feel like the Page of Swords in reverse, more child energy. So Page of Swords is an energy where we're trying to understand, you know, it's early stages of trying to gain knowledge in some way, but I feel like with the Page of Swords in reverse, it could be dealing with like a very challenging energy here. Very challenging energy that we were dealing with here. So I want to see, why is the 5 of Swords here, Spirit? What is this 5 swords about? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. So the Sun is in reverse, so we couldn't see. This is also ego. So there's going to be clarity. There's going to be news. It's going to be revealed to you. A situation that was very difficult, 5 swords here, where someone potentially was just not acting in their best light, you know, and so it was in the dark. It was in the dark. Now it's no longer in the dark. Like we intuitively knew. It's been in the dark, and we're going to see it right away. I don't know if this came reverse or not, but either way, the Sun is coming out. We're going to see the truth behind this 5 swords and this energy. So, because it still didn't come. The communication still didn't come. Like it's coming, you know, the thing we knew is coming. The information we were intuitively sort of understanding never really made itself manifest. And so it got blocked because somebody wasn't communicating or didn't understand to communicate it. The Tower in reverse. So, and the Strength yet again, Leo energy. So there's communication. A message. Someone might have to outright communicate something. And when they do, the Tower falls. The story falls. The thing that was maybe being held up, that maybe was always an illusion, or that you intuitively had known was an illusion. It didn't make itself like crystal clear just yet, because it wasn't out of the bag. The sun didn't shine on the truth here yet, although the truth always existed. But in this world, it didn't shed the light on maybe the situation itself that was unjust or creating havoc. And so I feel like whoever it is that is needing to communicate or come present with the truth here is going to communicate with the truth here. But why they have not is because there's a recognition that then the tower would fall, the false story or the structure would fall. And so they've been either held back, or the situation couldn't move forward until the illusion fell and the things were illuminated. And so this gives you freedom now. You can move forward. You can sort of control, how you navigate now. You're no longer stuck, or the situation no longer seems fixed, or someone who is really hanging on to some structure, wanted to hang on, didn't want it to fall because they were in this Four of Pentacles, miserly energy. I'm going to hang on, hang back. I feel like they no longer do this. Seven of Wands. They've probably been very defensive, but I feel like now it's like fighting for what actually matters here, And so with this healthy boundaries, I feel like you are now in a position you have the higher ground now. Like, you're in a position to stand your ground. Despite every obstacle here, or everything that might have happened in the past, it's like, I've healed this. I can see this. It's now, I have the balance. So this is what I see, pile 3. Let me know in the comments, because this is an interesting one, okay? Leo energy, very strong, pulling through, because I feel someone could have been in their ego here. So yeah, I love you guys very much, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.